Hello everybody, this is Intrepid83 and welcome back to Let's Play White Knight Chronicles. Alright, there's actually something I want to talk to you about this episode, but first let's get in here. And then I'll get into it.
So this is what it looks like inside.
These enormous tunnels link Gradle Plain to the Lagnish Desert on the other side of the mountains. Something about the stench coming off the walls makes the beasts here mad with anger. You best go forward with care. Ready now?
Why wouldn't we be? You make it sound so inviting.
We have to keep going. The princess needs us.
Then you can go first, Mr. Hero.
Come on. Let's be off.
Alright, the thing I would like to talk about actually has to do with the fact that there's White Knight Chronicles 2, and there's actually two versions of this game. Two versions, you ask? Yes, two versions. The one I am playing is the original version. In other words, if you were to... I'm actually going over this just because there have been a few viewers that have definitely taken an interest in getting this game for themselves, so I just want to make sure that they know what they're getting into in terms of the two different versions. This is the first version of the game. This is the original release, so White Knight Chronicles. This is what you will get if you just buy the White Knight Chronicles disc. I think it's in it's got a white cover on it. Yeah. White Knight Chronicles 2. I will first say that you cannot play White Knight Chronicles 2 without playing White Knight Chronicles 1 first. Because in order to play White Knight Chronicles 2, they require that you import your White Knight Chronicles 1 character into the game. In other words, when I'm done this game, in order for me to play White Knight Chronicles 2, I will have to import LIRIEL as my character into that game, which is really kind of cool. I really like that how they did that, and yeah, I totally support it because it's unique. You know?
Yes, they closed it down ages ago.
Actually, it's kind of along the same lines as... Maybe I'm thinking of something else, but for some reason I get the impression that Suikoden's like that. Oh, no, Suikoden 1 and 2, all it does is just imports the name of your... Suikoden 2 just imports the name of your character in Suikoden 1 from Suikoden 1 for the sake of historical purposes, but anyway. Back to White Knight Chronicles 2, White Knight Chronicles 1. With White Knight Chronicles 2, they actually... Level 5 actually included White Knight Chronicles 1 with that game. In other words, on the White Knight Chronicles 2 disc, there are both games, and I am going to have to wake Leonard up. Hey, lots of these things now. Awesome. Should never have to worry about White Knight. So yeah, they included White Knight Chronicles 1 with White Knight Chronicles 2, and that's where the second version of this game is. The White Knight Chronicles 1 version that the White Knight Chronicles 1 that they include with the second game is actually a remastered version of this game. In other words, they've worked out a few bugs I guess that made into the game that they didn't really want to, even though I haven't really noticed anything severe. But I guess it just corrected a few things that didn't work out the way they intended them to. So yeah. And also the color palette for the second version is actually better. I was actually considering LPing that version instead of this one until I got to one particular thing, which is what I am, trying to lead up to, which is the point of this, what I'm saying here. But in here we got a bone rod. Let's see here. For LIRIEL. Awesome. And we got a rock face. Alright, I'll explain it this way, is that, you know how in this game, this LP, how when we first left Balindor, in other words, when we were on our way to Parma, as soon as we left Balindor, we got to Balaster Plain, and then we ended up having that tutorial about, learning skills and all that kind of stuff, leveling up, essentially. Well, in the new version of the game, they actually did... I really liked what they did with the tutorial in that instead of just text and pictures, now they actually explain it vocally and they show you how it's done. Sort of like Final Fantasy X, where the tutorial for the sphere grid.
Place keep from
But
collapse.
yeah, sort of like in how Final Fantasy X did the tutorial for the sphere grid. They basically go into actually where you learn the skills, and then they demonstrate how to use up the skill points and everything like that. And they learn the skill, you see it actually happen, so you have a better understanding how it they go about it. And even the way they describe it is much more comprehensive than the way they did it in this game. Again, which is the reason why I was thinking of seriously considering LPing that version of the game. Until one little tidbit that I just remembered that I forgot to level up LIRIEL here. But the one problem, the one thing that turned me off of LPing that game is the fact that the skills that they choose in the tutorial actually end up being the skills that you choose in the game. In other words, they give you no control over the skills that you want to learn for your first level, which really, especially the way I'm building this character, it would have gimped this character. So that's the reason why I did not LP that game, and that's why I wanted to make sure that you guys were aware of that before you before choosing which version to buy. So yeah. Let's put that there because I'll need it. And staff strike is gonna almost useless. So there we go. All right, let's continue on here. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Alright, one shot. Yeah, these guys have 60 HP. And I'll harvest both of these, and then I'll be right back. However, there is one thing that I will admit to, is that I did not, sort of like in this LP where I waited until I got to Blaster before I used the skill points. And it looks like it won't be a problem because I can't get through this game because this gate is locked. There's a key somewhere else. But yeah, it's. I actually waited until the same point where I waited in this game to learn the skills. So I don't know. Maybe if you use up your skill points before you get to the tutorial, maybe it won't override them. So maybe I'll go check that on my own time. Maybe load it up again and see if it actually works that way. And if it does, then I'll come back and I'll apologize and I say, yeah, in order for you to get the skills that you want for your first level, make sure you do it before you get to the tutorial kind of thing. So I'll definitely have to make sure I do that and set myself straight, set you guys straight kind of thing. And yeah, okay, I've got Arctic Lance with me. We will be using it this video. Sweet. Alrighty. And we got a new enemy up here. Basilisk. They're weak to fire. Got about somewhere around 90 to 100 HP, sort of like the wild boars did. So.
Come on, at least try.
Sweet. Alright. Let's head west.
This is not a bad idea.
Yeah, I know Leonard's poisoned. It'll wear off.
Hey, wait up!
And we got another new enemy, Fire Elemental. They actually are sort of like the treants. They do not attack unless they are provoked. So we'll be taking care of him last. Alright, let's get to it. That's it. You've got about 100 HP as well. And yes, the ability Siphon Curse actually sucks MP from you. And of course, the first time I cast that, obviously I get a weak cast, and yeah, I don't take him out in one hit. Alright, I'm not forgetting anybody's levels, am I? Nope. Alright. Let's continue on. Yeah, who knows though, like when I get to White Knight Chronicles 2, I wonder if I'll be able to recustomize my character to still make, you know, have the leveling scheme that I have going on here, but actually have improved, you know, color and all that kind of stuff. A bit more another bad cast. Are you kidding me? I guess an improved version of my character. Visually, anyway. Alright, I'll get that last. And here we've got the Bone Bow, and I will officially be converting YULIE to the bow. YULIE. Obviously that removes the ability to use a shield, but she'll be ranged. She'll be casting alongside of me. Alright, yeah. Oops, I almost forgot the crate. Alrighty. And just in case you're wondering why I chose, if choosing ice magic is, or water magic is the only way to unlock the next level of intelligence and MP, no, you just need it would work the same for wind or earth or fire as well, but, well, we're going into a desert after we leave this place, so guess what spell is going to be massively useful? Yeah, the water spells, the ice spells, so that's why I'm learning that. Through that tree to unlock the remainder of my stat boosts in the elemental tree. And there's a butterfly over there, but let's head down here first. And if we head in here, we got another treasure chest. And a rock face. And it's a Nordia tunnel key. Awesome. Alrighty. Get out of the way, guys. And we got another crate over here. What the heck is this thing? Alright, what is this? Elevator. Oh, where it leads. Okay, what about this one? Darn. Alright, well, that's not... I guess the elevator's busted, so I guess that means we have to go all the way back to that first gate. Yeah. Yeah. Don't worry, there's a reason for that. I actually did that because of levels. But also for story purposes. I didn't want to break it or anything like that, so... Alright, so that's all the time I have for this episode. So the next episode, well, I guess we'll head back to the other gate and see where it leads. This is Intrepid83 signing off. Thank you for watching and have a good one. And good luck to you if you plan on purchasing this game.